Hello, students! Today, we're not just summarizing a story, we're stepping onto a broken boat in the middle of an angry ocean. We're going to feel what they felt. This is about the Cook family, and their story is called, We're Not Afraid to Die, If We Can All Be Together. The story is not a work of fiction but an autobiographical account, that is, a real-life experience written by Gordon Cook and Alan East. Just sit with that title for a second. We're not afraid to die. Who says that? A soldier? A hero? No. A 6-year-old boy. That title is our first clue that this isn't just about survival, it's about love. Let's set the scene. Imagine a dream. A family: Gordon, a 37-year-old businessman, his wife Mary, 7-year-old daughter Suzanne or Sue, and 6-year-old son Jonathan or John, fulfilling a lifelong wish to sail around the world. With 2 crewmen, American Larry Vigil and Swiss Herb Siegler. Their boat, the Wave Walker, is their home. It's strong and they are skilled. The start is pleasant, exciting, but then, after few weeks, the mood shifts. The Indian Ocean shows its true face. The waves aren't waves anymore. They are gigantic, alarming, 15 meters, as high as a building. Despite atrocious weather, they had a wonderful holiday complete with a Christmas tree. New Year's Day saw no improvement in the weather. At dawn on January 2, the wind doesn't blow, it screams. Can you hear it? Can you feel the boat shudder beneath you? Now, the moment of disaster. It doesn't come with more noise, but it comes with silence. An ominous silence at about 6 p.m., giving the impression that something bad is going to happen. The wind drops, the sky goes dark, and then they see it. A wave like they had never seen. It appeared perfectly vertical and almost twice the height of the other waves. A wall of water, a monster. The sound is thunder. The hit is a tremendous explosion. Gordon is thrown overboard. He's sinking, and in that moment he accepts it. He feels quite peaceful. Suddenly, waves tossed him around the deck like a rag doll. His left ribs cracked, his mouth filled with blood and broken teeth. He thinks it's the end, but it isn't. He rises up to a nightmare. The Wave Walker is near capsizing, means it is about to turn over in the water. The decks are smashed, and then he hears his wife's voice, screaming the words everyone on a ship fears the most.
We're sinking! The decks are smashed. We're full of water.
This is where the world falls apart. This is where most hope would end. But look what happens. This family becomes united to fight the situation. 1. The father, with cracked ribs and a mouth full of broken teeth, fights to steer, to fill the holes with canvas, which is a kind of waterproof cloth, and to navigate the boat. 2. The mother and the crewmen pump the water out of the boat, tirelessly and desperately. 3. The children. Oh, the children. This is where my heart breaks. Let's go to their cabin. Sue has a massive bump on her head. Later, we see she has 2 black eyes and a deep cut on her arm. But when her father first checks on her, she says nothing. Why? Only later does she tell him.
I didn't want to worry you when you were trying to save us all.
Students, think about that. A little girl, who is terrified and in pain, silences her own suffering because she doesn't want to add to her father's burden. That isn't just bravery, that is profound, selfless love. They were getting no replies to their Mayday calls as they were in the remote corner of the world. By morning on January 3, the pumps had the water level sufficiently under control. Mary found some corned beef and cracker biscuits, and they ate their first meal in almost 2 days. But their relief soon ended. At 4 p.m., another storm hits. The situation is again very bad. The father goes to comfort his children. His son, John, asks the question every child would ask.
Daddy, are we going to die?
Gordon tries to reassure him, but John isn't finished. He continues, and let us listen to what he says.
But Daddy, we aren't afraid of dying if we can all be together, you and Mummy, Sue and I.
If we can all be together? Their greatest fear wasn't the waves or the sharks or drowning. Their greatest fear was being separated. Their togetherness was their strength. That single sentence gave Gordon the strength to fight the sea with everything he had. How could he give up after that? Wave Walker rode out the storm by the morning of January 6. They were navigating by a damaged compass, searching for a tiny, 65 kilometers wide island in a vast ocean. Sue gave Gordon a card that she had made. On the front she had drawn caricatures of Mary and him with the words,
Here are some funny people. Did they make you laugh?
It had made Gordon laugh. Inside there was a message written,
Oh, how I love you both. So this card is to say thank you, and let's hope for the best.
Later, Gordon checked his calculations as he had lost the compass. About 2 p.m., Gordon went on deck and asked Larry to steer. The island they were searching was expected at 5 p.m. Then, with a heavy heart, he went to sleep. When he woke, it was 6 p.m. and growing dark. He thought they had missed the island.
Can I have a hug?
Why am I getting a hug now?
Because you are the best daddy in the whole world and the best captain.
Not today, John. I'm afraid.
Why? You must be. You found the island.
Hey, what?
It's out there in front of us.
They reached Isla Amsterdam. It was only a piece of volcanic rock, with little vegetation, but certainly it appeared to them the most beautiful island in the world. The next morning, all 28 inhabitants of the island helped them. So, students, when you think of this story, I don't want you to just remember the storm. I want you to remember the silence in the children's cabin after a little boy redefined bravery for all of us. I want you to remember that the key to face any storm, any hardship, any fear, is the unbreakable bond of a family. That is the real lesson here. That is why they survived.